Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. So this is our kind of foundations class. We're going to work on bringing in all the elements that we've been working on. So we've been doing a lot of waist training. We've done a lot of stance work, but we've also been including these arm movements that have been spanning over about 4 to 5 sessions now from grasping the bird's tail. So today I want to find a little bit of that flow, but before we do that, we're going to warm up. So feet shoulders width apart, perfectly straight. Remember, your goal is to kind of make this your new normal, and then soft knees and a nice relaxed lower back while those shoulders hang down. Let's just start by doing a chin to the chest and up. So finding a nice stretch through the neck. Really let the head hang down, but then don't push too much as you look up. Let's do 2 more. And then on that last one, we end by drawing the chin to the chest. We find a nice stretch here, and then we come back up into neutral. Then we're going to move across. So we go side to side, over one shoulder, and then across to the other side. Smooth and even, just back and forth. Again, not pushing too far. Gentle movements will open our body over time and allow it to become normal. All right, last round. And then back to center. And let's just do 2 circles. So chin to chest, ear to shoulder, and around. Small circles with the nose, one direction, and then the other. And then back to the chin to chest, and then up to neutral. All right, shoulders are next. So alternating or together, whatever feels good. Just give yourself a moment to find that movement through the joints. Again, you can kind of extend those arm circles if that feels good, or just keep them nice and small or even smaller. Whatever feels good. Just draw those shoulder blades together. And then we'll go the other direction. So that means pulling the shoulder blades apart. And again, that could be giant arm circles. It could be a little bit smaller or even smaller. The goal is to listen to your body throughout every session. And then we'll go back. We tend to need more going back a little bit. And then shake them out. Let them hang down. Let them find that neutral position. And we're just going to do a gentle swing through the spine. So let those arms flow from side to side, tapping maybe the lower back or the belly. And just let your head follow the torso direction. So side to side. All right, let's ease off. And just a quick little warm up today. Come back to center. And then into the hips, and the knees are last with the ankles. So nice big circle. All the way out and around. Really push out to the sides, to the front. And I want to encourage you to check in on that weight in your feet. This is a good opportunity to start to become aware of that weight. Let's go the other way. So feel it move to the outside of the foot, the ball, and then the heel. Feel that shift. Feel how it changes the spine and the whole body. All right, let's come back to center. We'll bring those knees and ankles together, and we'll just do some nice little circles. So bending down a little bit. Remember, if the knees ever hurt, a tiny micro little circle is a great thing. We do not need to do anything large here. A very small circle goes a long way. Other direction. And then coming up. All right, let's roll those shoulders back. Let's do a nice big reach through the arms. So really reach through and up. Find a nice big stretch and then just float down. All right, little qigong here. Inhale up and then bend at the elbows and just float down. Really relax through. So find a big stretch at the top. Inhale up. And then relax the shoulders, bend at the elbows, and float down. We'll do one more. Inhaling up. Exhale down. And then release. We're going to move into that like waters wave, which is the opening and closing of any form, but it's really good for our nervous system. So check in on your feet if you did move. Remember, as we sink down, knees will stay perfectly in line. Don't let them hang in. Feel that weight centered. All right, fingertips brush the sides of your thighs, and we're going to rotate those palms facing back as the arms lift up, shoulder height, shoulder width. Upper arms go down, forearms, and then palms. We're going to take a few breaths here. So inhale up. Exhale, sink down to wherever is comfortable. Inhale, push up. Staying where you are, I'm going to turn so that you can see. Exhale, sinking down. Remember, this is not a squat. We do not want to put that weight in our heels. We want to be centered, maybe leaning forward slightly. So inhale up. And then sink to wherever is comfortable. Your only goal is to stand up fully when the arms are at the top, and then stop sinking down when the hands are at the hips. So we're coordinating the upper and lower halves. We're moving with our own breath. So if we were all in a room together, we would all be moving at a different pace. Let's do a few more. Really just listen to your body. Try to find lightness through the arms. And try to feel strong and heavy through those legs. 2 more. All right, last one. Maybe you're ending after me is always better. This one's really simple. We just sink down and then we stand up and bring those arms to the side. Okay, we have a little bit of energy flowing. Today we're going to jump right into that waist exercise, and we're actually just going to focus on the turning and then the mixed, okay? This is because I want to really work on the arms today with the footwork. So let's grab our chairs. We're trying to get a little bit of everything in, but also connect everything we've been learning. So it's always a fine balance. So sitting in your chair, remember, feet are connected to the ground. So be that shoulders width, a little bit wider, even wider. Make sure your knees are in line with your feet. Feel those sit bones connected. So maybe you even move the thighs. So you find the bones. Stacking the spine, head over heart, over hips, so we're sitting up nice and tall. Now remember, we have this hugging position. It's like your arms are around the biggest tree. We're kind of opening up through the back. Remember, shoulders and elbows relax down. So we have little weights from the elbows pulling us down while we lift through the crown of the head. We're in our own little square. We are the center of our square, and we're going to turn about 45 degrees. Remember to not push. So 45 degrees would be to the corner, but if that feels too much, come back. And then on the other side, just do a little bit. Again, remember, a little bit of turning goes a long way. We want to listen to our spine, listen to our bodies, and never push too far. Few minutes a day of spine work is going to really allow your body to heal and let that energy flow, to allow that blood to circulate freely. You might start feeling those fingers warm up. And we're just moving. Now, as we do this, remember that that weight is staying centered on the sit bone. So we don't want to turn so far that the weight's moving. Okay? We want to stay nice and centered. This comes into play when we include our bow stance next. So this is really important. And we're going to do a lot of this today with our grasping the bird's tail sequence. Okay, let's do one more round. And we'll come back to center, and we'll take that moment and we'll throw down the arms. Remember, it's really important to kind of relax through the shoulders. When we're first learning, it's going to feel like a lot to have your arms up for so long. So if this helps at any point during the session, just throw those arms down so that they feel more relaxed, okay? So remember, normally we're going to practice that horizontal and vertical for a while, but today I just want to include that mixed so that we can really just get into our grasping the bird's tail practice. So that mixed variation, we bring our arms back up and then we're going to turn. Then we're going to go to the corner. So we're going to come across and make a figure 8, back corner and then across. And we're just including all the variations here. Now remember, we don't need this giant movement that I'm doing. I'm showing you that weight is moving from side to side. It's a small movement. It's going to be a little circling. Remember, small movements go a long way. So feel that turning, feel that chest expanding, and then go the other direction. So can you find that movement? So again, think if it's a big circle, this is what it looks like. We're going from side to side, but then when we actually do it, it's a little small movement. Let's do a couple more. And then we'll come back to center. Feel that expansion through your arms and then throw them down. All right, remember I said a quick little waist training today, right? A little bit of spine work today. So we're gonna get right up off those chairs and we're gonna open up our hips because we're gonna do some Tai Chi walking to warm up our legs. And then we're gonna get into grasping the bird's tail. So using that chair if you'd like, remember your goal is to kind of just gently touch the chair, not hold on with dear life, okay? Challenging your balance a little bit. Find the center of your foot that's closest to your chair. Lift up the other leg and then open to the side. So it doesn't matter how high you go. Lift, open. That's what we're going for, is that opening to the side to open the hips. All right, we're going to do a couple more. So lift, open, and tap. Nice. Great things to do for our hips every day. After so much sitting that we do in our daily lives, this is a great activity. Okay, ready? Other side. Turning your chair, turning to face the other direction. Whatever it is, we did about 10 on that time. So find your weight, touch with the toes, and then lift and open. So nice big circle here. Really just open up those hips. Remember, if you're wobbling, touch that chair, okay? Don't lock out your standing leg. Pick a point to stare at. Super helpful for our balance here. All right, ready? 2 more. All right, last one. Okay, shake it out. Let's get those chairs out of the way and let's get those legs warmed up. So we're going to do a couple of rounds. We're going to move back in our space as far as we can. Sometimes might be into a doorway. All right. So from here, remember, we're going to have our feet shoulders width apart, and this is the marker for us moving forward, okay? So you're going to imagine that you're moving forward on these 2 lines. Now we're going to bring our arms up into that hug a tree position because this is going to help us recognize the direction of our torso so that we can help with our balance. So from here, we're going to shift. I'm going to mirror you to the right. You're going to turn and open your left toes 45 degrees. Now remember, you're in the center of your own little box for all of those cues. Sink down, knee in line, and then step out. Don't reach, just touch naturally. Heel, ball toe, and then move your weight forward and turn your waist. Shift back. Open up to the right side. Turn everything. Look, the torso follows. Push out of the back foot. Come to center. And then step out. Shift forward and turn. So that turning is coming from where? That waist area. Remember, the hips are going to stay open so that our knees are in line, but we're turning from our waist. Okay, shift back. Open 45 degrees. Torso faces that corner. Pick up and then step out. Move forward and turn. Do you notice I did a smaller stance today? This is my point. Smaller is better, okay? Now, can you shift back, turn your torso to match that back leg direction? Can you pick up? If it was hard, I want you to step even smaller and then move forward, okay? The only thing that's important, drop the arms and let them go. The only thing that's important is if you turn on your left heel to match, you have two lines. Your knees over your ankle. I don't care if your stance looks like this or like this. They're exactly the same in requirements. It could be in between. Knee over ankle, two lines. Let's do the other side. All right, coming back. Just really warming up those legs for a moment. Okay, shifting left. Open 45 degrees to the right. Sink. Step straight out. Heel, ball of foot toes. Shift forward and turn. Move back. Open. Don't stand up. Remember, you chose this height. Level. Move across. And then step out and turn. Now, check. Turning from your waist, right? Not from the hips. Turning from the torso. Getting that spine movement in, making our legs strong, our waist flexible, and what's going on up here? Are you light and airy, or do we feel tense? Try to let go. All right, one more side. Open, pour that weight in, step out, and turn. Okay, drop the arms. How'd we do? If you turn on that right heel, do you still have two lines? Yes. All right, so remember, Tai Chi is a combination of footwork, waist turns, and then arm circles. So our goal is to feel confident in each section so we can put it together in various combinations. So we're gonna do both sides again, and then we're gonna get into those arm movements. So moving back into your space, arms up. Remember, if the arms ever kind of feel tense, throw them down for a second. Okay, shifting to the right. Turn and open the left toes. Sink and step. Move forward and turn. So remember, when you turn and open that right foot, the torso's following that direction. We're not straight. If you're trying to stay straight and move forward, oh man, is that hard, okay? Make it easier for yourself. Torso follows that foot direction, and then we follow the front foot direction. Now one more, shift back, open, look, everything turns together. Pour that weight in and step out and move forward. Yes. So kind of general rules that you will find in your Tai Chi practice, again, in various combinations. So let's do the other side. Arms up, shifting left, open the right toes. Sink and step. Move forward and turn. Okay, shift, open, step out, and turn. Okay, one more. Ready? Turning, and then step. Move forward. All right. Okay, I want you to practice one more time by yourself. I got a barking dog for a moment. I gotta let him out of the bathroom. I'll be right back. 2 seconds. Practice one time by yourself. Test your memory. Hey. Hi. Stay there. Yes, looks good. Let's see. Oh, you're just going to be a little handful today. Come on, dude. You're going to go outside, outside. Ready? All the way. Sorry, guys. Not sure what got into him today. That looks good, though. When I came back, you guys... Oh, look at this. Keep going. I want to see one more. See, you know what's happening now is I'm making you do it by yourself. You have no choice but to test your memory. Okay, how do we feel? Yes. Yes. All right. So now we feel confident and stable in our footwork. We're going to bring in the arms. Okay. So remember, we've been working on ward off, roll back, press, and push. Now, of course, press and push are the easiest ones, right? In terms of what we're doing, but then we have that ward off and roll back. So we're gonna kind of work backwards a little bit in terms of what we're doing, so then we feel a little bit more confident and it's a little bit easier. So let's just start with our push as a review. So remember, push starts at shoulder width apart and about chest level. The big thing to look out for is not being too low, okay? The other thing, remember, we're not flat palmed, we're slightly turned. So feel that little bit of relax like you're holding a giant beach ball here versus having strain in the front of the arms. So turning that little bit, and we start chest level and then we push to shoulder height. So that means wrists and shoulders are in line. So come back, sit them up, and then we push. That's it. So this one's really easy. Things to look out for include having that elbows pulled back too much, which causes that chest to open, okay? We want to sink and round and relax, right? We're not trying to push ourselves too hard. And then we push, okay? So this is it. Just relax and push. Now that one's super easy, right? Like super easy. Okay, so press. Press is another easy one. We're gonna start with press and push with our footwork first. Press, we take that left palm and we press it into the center of our forearm, okay? So it's literally in the center here and the hand is kind of diagonal. So don't put it up vertically so that that armpit is closed. See that? Okay, have it open, but not flat, okay? So it's not here, it's not here, it's in between, about 45 degrees. Are you hearing all the same cues and everything, right? So everything kind of follows these rules. So from here, press starts again low, and then it expands out. What's the thing to look out for here? We're not gonna be square and smash in. Give yourself that little bit of space and turn your torso a little bit. So not here, here. Okay, so from this, where we're square and kind of smashed in, right? That arm's like really smashed versus having that space. Okay? And we're just gonna go up. Yep, left hand to right forearm. And we're just gonna go perfect. We're really touching it. And we're gonna go up. We're gonna go up. That's it. This is press. So we're thinking about we're in a space and we're just making room, right? It's just like, get away from me. But this by itself is not very much, right? So we have an assist of the push. And they work together to expand out, okay? So we're gonna focus on these two movements right now, okay? And we're just gonna keep repeating them in a flow. So remember, we have these different elements. We have our sitting practice and we have standing. And then we have single movement and then our form. So right now we're kind of doing single movement. We're gonna turn and all face the same direction, okay? So we're gonna start where? Feet shoulders width apart, and we're gonna make our bow stance. So we're gonna shift to the right, and we're gonna open up our left toes. We're gonna sink down, and we're gonna step out. Now remember, we're gonna have that great alignment. Knees in line. Check before we get started. Can you pick up? If that was too hard, you gotta step smaller because we're gonna be doing this. Push and support. So that means moving forward and back and really feeling it. So we're not just moving like this, okay? Yes, I'm doing a bow stance right now. What's the difference? Now I'm moving level and I'm really pushing with this front leg to move back, and I'm stopping it with my back leg. Now I'm pushing with the back leg and stopping with the front. So it's like if you really actually pushed and you didn't stop yourself, you would go flying forward. Or if you didn't have an object like something heavy like a fridge or a car that you're pushing to stop you, you would just go forward. So we need to learn how to create this ourselves. It builds strength in our legs. It helps with alignment. It brings that strength and power and stability and balance, and it helps heal our joints. So moving forward and back. Now we're going to combine it with those arms. So we're going to start with push. Push is the easiest variation. Remember, hips are going to stay open, but our torso, our waist is going to turn to straight. Now, hands are going to sit where? Chest height, not too low. And we're going to go from here and we're going to push. So we're going to flatten and we're just going to come back and sit them up. Push. Legs through the waist out to the hands. So your goal, come back, is if I say stop, is everything halfway or is everything all the way? So we want to avoid what? Arms here, legs here, or legs here, arms here, right? We want to slow it down so that we can push. And everything works together. So I want you to take a moment and just feel the flow. So in Tai Chi, we don't have a specific way we should breathe. The only requirement is that we continue to breathe. So smooth, even, and continuous. That being said, you do hear me mention that we can coordinate our breath, and that comes into this single movement practice, okay? When we come back, we can inhale, and when we move forward, we can exhale. Now that being said, this is a small movement. Inhale and exhale. Well, what happens if we go to single whip? For those that have done forms with me, am I going to inhale, 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 inhale? Oh my goodness, I'm still inhaling, inhaling, inhale. No. Okay? This is why in our Tai Chi practice, we need to just let our breath be what it's going to be. But when we do smaller movements, we can think exhale and explode out. Inhale and gather energy. Exhale and release it. Okay? So we can think about just kind of coordinating the whole body, mind, body, and breath. Okay? So you feel comfortable with push now. Let's do press because I want you to feel the flow together, okay? So we're gonna just do press now as a single movement practice. So that means repeating press again and again. That means left hand touches the center of your forearm. Where do we start? Back. Now remember, when we're in this back position, we're not vertical. Lean into it. Lean towards that back leg. So we're not leaning to the front. It's kind of leaning towards the support leg, okay? So we've touched, and now we're going to press someone away. And for this one, we're just going to come back and we're gonna press. So what are you thinking? Someone is here or something is here, and you have to use your legs, your waist, and your arms to really get them out of here. So it's a small movement, but it is an expansion out. Now, how do you know you're doing it properly? When you stop. First and foremost, elbow should be slightly lower than your wrist. So we don't want to have that elbow up. What happens? The shoulder comes up too. So relax that arm down. And now check. Elbow and knee are in line. Okay? So this means we're not too far to the side. We're going to be in line so that everything is happening to that front direction. Okay? So that's the goal. Everything's happening the same way. We're expanding out. And we can inhale and come back. Exhale out. So just move with your own breath again. So feel. Don't just move, right? Yes, I'm moving. It feels good. It looks like a bow stance. What's the difference? Push. Come back. Push. You're going to know if you're doing this right when we take a break in a moment and you feel your legs. Okay? So that's when you know you're using your legs. All right. So now let's combine press and push, right? So the goal is to feel the flow. So first things first, we're going to do the arms. Give our legs a rest. Shake them out, okay? We go from press, close in, and we expand out. So now we have to get to push. So we're going to turn our torso, because remember it's open. We're going to turn it and we're going to flatten out our arms to shoulder height and shoulder width. This should feel like water's waving away. Then we're going to let our elbows just drop and our palms are going to sit up at the last moment, okay? Then we just push out, okay? So we go from press, expand, okay, turn and flatten, come back, and push. Okay, so we're not doing the legs. So your goal right now is to find the lightness in the arms. I want you to just let go, okay? Let them just have enough to keep them up in the air. So from here, close in, expand out, open, and then just let them float back and sit them up, and then push. Yes, yes. Let's do it again. Press, expand, open and square up those shoulders, come back over a ball, and then push. Yes. Remember, when we end up in a push, we really want to make sure that our palms are what we call seated. So that means that we're not too flat, that we're going to sit them up as much as possible. So the way to kind of imagine this is if you were pushing onto something, okay? Like you were literally pushing on the wall, what that would feel like, okay? You want to imagine you're using this L portion here of your palm. This is where we're pushing. So we want to make sure that that little bit opens up the wrist quite a bit, okay? So if you ever have any problems with carpal tunnel or anything like that, these stretches, right? They're great things that we do to stretch out our wrists, okay? If you did too much typing, if you did any sort of hand work, okay? It's a similar thing. Eventually, you will sit up those palms more and more until they're just naturally seated in this position, okay? Really important to make them sit up as much as possible, okay? Yes, I love the hand shapes I'm seeing. So, press, touching. Remember, we're not straight, we're not too open. Relaxed, expand out. Open, so flatten. Come back, sit up those palms. They're ready to go. I would rather you're not here. Relax out, bring those palms away from your chest, and then push out. So they're ready, right? When your hands are here, they are sitting up and they're ready because you're already touching something, and then you're just gonna move up. Yes. Now, from press, expand, square up those shoulders and flatten the arms. Back over that ball, the palms are ready, and then push. Nice work. Now let's do it with the legs, okay? So now can you make your legs and your arms time out so that we have a final posture all arriving at the same time. So starting in a great bow stance, shift to the right, open up those left toes, sink, and then step out. So we're gonna move forward and back. That's it, just like we did. This time we're gonna start in press, close in, check, knees are in line, don't let them hang in, use the inner thighs. Expand out. Okay, turn from your waist, not your hips, okay? Turn. Come back, sit up the palms, and push. Pretty cool, right? Let's go back. Let's do it again. So from press. Okay, expand. Square up the shoulders using your waist. Come back. Sit up the palms and push. Okay, back. Inhale. Exhale. Here's where it gets interesting. It's a big inhale, so we just want to breathe naturally. Let's do it again. Press and push. One more. Coming back. Expand out. Square everything up. Draw those palms back and push. All right. So now we're starting to feel that flow, right? But not just feeling a flow, we're feeling our whole body work. And this is why we've really taken that time to build a solid foundation, okay? Because I can have you just flow through movements, right? But then what happens if your knees start hurting after class? I'm not doing my job then, okay? So I want you to feel super strong and stable. Most of us are here for balance, okay? So I'm gonna give you a quick little preview because we are gonna be working this until you can do it by yourself. Remember, I want you to be able to step into any Tai Chi class and be like, I got grasping the bird's tail. I'll follow you along through anything else, but when we get to this part, I feel great, okay? That's my mission right now, okay? So we're gonna connect ward off right, roll back, press, and push. Okay, this is what we're going for. Now, where does all this start? It starts in prepare. And then it starts with like water's wave. Okay? So our goal is to be here, and then where are we gonna go? I'm gonna turn to make it easier for you to see, but we're gonna go into, we're gonna turn and set up our footwork. We're gonna reach out and we do ward off left. It looks a little bit different than our practice because the hand comes here, but then look, this is what we're gonna learn. We're gonna learn ward off right, roll back, press, and push, okay? This is gonna be your foundation. So then eventually, where do we go to next? Woo! Single whip. How many people have seen single whip as the iconic pose in Tai Chi? You either have it in Yang style with a bow stance or Chen style with a horse stance. But no matter what, it's still the same single whip, okay? So I want you guys to feel super confident in that, all right? So let's take a moment, maybe you grab your chair. We're gonna stretch out our legs a little bit. We did a lot of stance work today, okay? So finding your balance on one side, maybe grabbing onto that chair. We'll give our legs a nice stretch here, grabbing that top of the shoe. Let that knee shoot down to the ground. Keep those knees together. Remember, shoulders down here, right? So don't bring those shoulders up. Whoop. As soon as I did that, my balance became off too. All right, one more stretch, and then we'll do the other side. So shift, find your center. Remember, if you lock out the leg or you're too bendy, that's gonna affect your balance. Bring that foot to the top, knees together, facing down, shoulders down. If you ever want more or you don't feel enough, you can always lean forward. So that's gonna be a little bit more for the front of the leg, whoop, and then we'll release. All right, let's do a couple of nice big inhales, reaching up. So inhale, reach through those fingers, nice big stretch, and then just relax down. So just taking that moment, inhale up, reach, 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 float down. All right, let's do one more. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Great work today. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.